centralized versus decentralized. Generally, there are two major types of blockchains split along the lines of their consensus mechanism. Bitcoin and most other cryptocurrencies use so-called decentralized blockchains. In this setup, everybody is free to join the network. If you join the network, you supply computing power in exchange for being rewarded with the currency of the blockchain, say bitcoins. This makes decentralized blockchains entirely autonomous and open networks. Yet on the downside, the high number of participants, currently more than 10,000 in the Bitcoin network, causes scalability problems. Bitcoin can do 7 transactions per second. The Visa network handles 1,736 transactions a second in the US alone. Moreover, decentralized blockchains have a serious energy consumption problem. The Bitcoin network burns as much energy as the entire country of Ireland. The heavy IT equipment needed to mine cryptocurrency has to be trashed every 6 months. Thus, banks and companies have come up with the idea of centralized blockchains, in which they limit the autonomy of the network by deciding who the participants will be. Hence, the creed of openness is sacrificed for much faster and cheaper processes. This dichotomy between centralized versus decentralized, or closed versus open blockchains, is also reflected in the terminology. When you talk about centralized setups, you will mostly hear the term DLT, or distributed ledger technology, as many pundits still refuse to accept centralized versions as fully-fledged blockchains. And indeed, there is a crucial difference, as centralized blockchains still rely on the least one trusted authority. On the other hand, centralized versions are using most blockchain concepts and offer most other advantages of blockchain technology. Hence, I believe it is still adequate to call them blockchains. But regardless of the degree of centralization, blockchains are often equated with distributed ledgers. Yet this is not entirely correct. The actual distributed ledgers are the protocols sitting on top of the blockchain. Thus, the blockchain itself is not the ledger, but the mechanism for transaction validation, i.e., to reach the consensus between the different nodes in the ledger. But even within the prototypical decentralized blockchain group, there are various validation mechanisms. In the proof-of-stake mechanism, for example, nodes with more equity in the blockchain have more decision power. But the most prominent model is certainly proof-of-work. This is also used by Bitcoin. In this setup, transactions are validated by burning massive amounts of energy and computer power. If you want to understand in more detail how proof-of-work achieves unparalleled security standards, even without a trusted third party, click this link.